Shadow Alchemist. Shadow.
Feel that? The second we step into this room, the air is heavy. Like gravity pulls harder here. Like there's a weight pressing down on your shoulders before you have even done anything. Stand in it a moment. That weight. You know it. You've carried it. This is the room of money. And right away, I have to tell you what this room is not about. Because almost every man gets it wrong. This room is not about greed. It's not about a man who loves money too much. The weight you're feeling isn't greed. It's fear. The fear of not enough. The fear of the bills, the debt, the mouths that depend on you, the calls you don't want to answer. The fear that says if the money runs out, everything falls and it's all on you. That's the real weight in here. Not the love of money, the terror of not having it. Come with me and let's lift the weight off you, because part of it was never yours to carry in the first place. Welcome back to the Clear Path of the Warrior Guide, Season 1, The Shadow Realm. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. This is the room almost every man stands in at some point, in the dark, alone, doing the math at 3 a.m. The room of provision. And there's a lie buried in this room so deep that most men never find it. A lie that's been crushing their shoulders their whole lives. Tonight we dig it out. Stay close. Let me show you the weight properly, because you have to see it clearly to put it down. Walk with me through what this room actually does to a man. It's not the man in the mansion counting his gold. That's the cartoon the world sells you, so you never look at the real thing. The real thing is the man laying awake at 3 a.m. running numbers. The man whose chest tightens when the phone rings because it might be a bill. The man working himself into the ground, not because he's greedy, but because he's terrified. Terrified of letting people down. Terrified of the shame of not providing. Terrified that if he stops grinding, for 1 second, it all collapses. And underneath all of it is the cruelest part of this room. The lie that your worth is your bank balance. That a man is only as valuable as what he earns. So when the money is low, he doesn't feel broke. He feels worthless. Like less of a man. Like he's failing at the one job a man is supposed to do. And that shame is so heavy, he can't even talk about it. So he carries it alone, in the dark, doing math while everybody around him thinks he's fine. You know that weight. Feel where it sits. Right across the shoulders. Right on the chest. That's the room pressing down. And it presses hardest on the good men. The ones who feel responsible. Who take care of people. Who rather die than fail the ones who depend on them. This room doesn't crush the lazy. It crushes the dependable. The better man you are, the heavier this room makes itself. Now, let me show you the exact lie that makes this room so heavy. Because once you see it, the weight starts to lift. Lean in. Listen to what this room whispers to the man at 3 a.m. It says, "It's all on you. You're the provider. If you don't make it happen, no one will. Everything in this house, the food, the family, the future, rests on your shoulders. And your shoulders alone. So carry it. Carry all of it. And never stop. Because the second you stop, it all falls." That's the whisper. And here's why it's so devastating. It's almost true. A man is responsible. He should work, provide, strive, take care of his people. That part is real. That part is honorable. The room takes the real and the honorable thing and twists one word into it. It changes "you are responsible for the effort" into "you are the source of the provision." And that one twisted word is a weight no human shoulder was ever built to carry. Because think about what the room is actually telling him to believe. It's telling him that he's the one who provides, that the risk, the provisions, the sustenance of his entire family flows from him, from his hustle, his grind, his cleverness, his hands, that he is the source. And a man who believes he is the source of provision is carrying the weight of God on a human back. No wonder he's crushed. He's trying to be something no man was ever meant to be. He's holding up a sky that was never resting on him. That's the lie at the bottom of this room. Now, money is good or money is bad. The lie is you are the source and it's all on you. The room makes a man into a small god of his own provisions and then breaks him under the weight only God can carry. And he doesn't even know he is being handed the wrong job. He just thinks he's failing at it. So let me lift the weight off you now. By telling you the truth, the room works hardest to hide. And this is the thing that sets the man free in here. After years of being crushed, you were never the source. There is one who provides. And it was never you. The provisions of your family, of every creature in every corner of the earth, it flows from him, the provider, the one who has fed every mouth that has ever opened since the beginning of time. The bird that doesn't farm, doesn't store, doesn't lie awake at 3 a.m. doing math, it's fed every single day, not because it's the source of its own provisions, but because the real source never forgets a creature he made. And you who carry so much more worry than the bird, you think the whole thing rests on you? It doesn't. It never did. Your provision was written before you drew a breath. The amount, the timing, where it comes from, written. Not by your grind, by the one who provides. Now hear me carefully, because the room will try to twist this too. This does not mean you stop working. It does not mean you sit and you wait for the sky to rain money. The man who truly understands this works harder than the frightened man, but he works differently. Here's the difference, and it's everything. You strive like it all depends on you, and you trust like it all depends on him. You carry the effort. You hand back the outcome. Your job, the whole of your job, is the striving, the honest work, the showing up, the doing your part with excellence. That part is yours, and you give it everything. But the rest, whether the deal closes, whether the money comes, whether it's enough, that was never your job. That belongs to the provider. So you do the work with your whole heart, and you put the outcome down, because it was never in your hands to begin with. You were trying to carry both, the effort and the outcome. And the outcome is the part that was crushing you. Put it down, it's his. It always was. That's the weight coming off your shoulders right now. Feel it. You still work. You work even harder, even cleaner. But you stop trying to be God. You do your part and you trust the provider with the rest. The frightened man carries the whole sky. The free man carries his own 2 hands worth and trusts the one who actually holds the sky to hold it. Now let me show you the real name of this room, because money was never quite it. The true name of this room is lack, the feeling of not enough. And here's why that matters. A man can have money in the bank and still feel trapped in here. Because the room doesn't run on how much you have. It runs on the feeling that you don't have enough. Lack is the feeling, not a number. And the room creates that feeling with one trick. It gets you to stare at that one place you feel empty and go completely blind to every place you're full. Because hear me, your value was never financial. Look at everything a man actually holds. You have financial value, yes, but you also have your health, a body that carries you, lungs that fill, a heart that's beating every second of your life without you ever asking. You have emotional value, the love you're capable of, the people who would grieve if you were gone. You have spiritual value, a soul, a connection to the one, a place to put your face down on the ground. You have your mind, the ability to think, solve, create. You have relationships, character, time, faith. That's a portfolio of wealth so vast that the money is just one column in it. And this room's whole trick is to make you forget the other columns. It points the one place you feel lack, the money, and screams, you don't have enough, so loudly that you go blind to the 10 places you're overflowing. A man can be rich in health, rich in love, rich in faith, rich in mind, and feel like a failure because one column is low. That's not poverty, that's blindness. So here's the rope of abundance, the way out of the room of lack. The moment you feel the lack in one area, stop and look at all the other areas where you are abundant. Don't argue with the fear. Just widen your eyes. Count the columns you've been ignoring. The man who does this finds almost every time that he was never actually lacking. He was just staring at one empty cup while standing in a room full of full ones. Lack was a failure of sight, not a failure of supply. And the second you see the abundance that was always there, the grip of this room starts to break. Now the deepest truth of this room, and remember where you are. This is the shadow realm, where everything is inverted. So the way the world tells you to escape lack is exactly backwards. The world screams, you lack, go get. Grab more, take more, chase more. That's the world's answer to the feeling of not enough. Acquire your way out of it. And it never works because you can't fill a feeling of lack by grabbing. The more you grab from a place of lack, the more lack you feel. Here's the inversion. In this realm, giving is actually what unlocks the receiving. The way out of lack isn't grabbing, it's giving. When you give, you prove to yourself you have something to give. And a man who has something to give is by definition not in lack. Giving is the act that breaks the spell, because it's impossible to feel empty in the same moment you're pouring something out. And here's the mercy in it. You don't have to give money. That's the part that the world tries to tell you. You can give value in 100 different forms. Give your time. Give your ear. Sit with someone in pain and listen without judgment, without fixing. Just listen. Give your presence. Be there for someone. Be the comfort in the room. Give someone the space to be heard, to express what they've been holding. Not everything is about equivalent exchange. Money for money. The man with empty pockets can be the richest giver in the world because he gives the things that actually heal people. Attention, comfort, presence, mercy. And there's a law underneath this woven into the fabric of the things. The good you give comes back to you multiplied. It's promised. A single good deed, a single act of giving is returned to you many times over, far more than you gave. When you feel lack, that is the exact moment to give, to do a good deed, to help, to serve, to give in charity, because the giving is the door out. But here's the part most men miss, and is the key to everything. The increase doesn't always come back as money. You give and the return is multiplied. But maybe it returns as peace where you had anxiety, as confidence where you had doubt, as clarity where you were lost, as a problem solved that you had been stuck on for months, as a door opening you never saw coming. Provision, risk is not just money. It's every good thing that sustains a life. And the man fixated only on the money form stands there blind while provisions pour in through 10 other doors. The deed always pays. It doesn't just always pay in the currency you were watching. So here's the refrain. Carry this one out of this room. It was never the situation, the amount in your account, the bill, the debt. That was never the thing. The situation is only there to make you look around. And if you can look around and see rightly, see the health, the love, the faith, the mind, the breath, the 1,000 things you actually hold, then you are walking amongst the richest men in the world right now, today, with whatever is in your account. Because the richest man was never the one with the most. The richest man is the one who can see what he has. The man who sees what he has is always richer than the man who sees what he lacks. Even when the second man has more. Always. That's how you leave this room of lack. Not by getting more, by seeing what you were always holding. And before we leave, let me leave you with 2 threads. Because 2 great warriors walked in this exact room and lit it. And I'll tell you their stories fully when we climb. But you need to know they exist. Because between them, they beat every version of this room. The first faced the fear you feel, the fear of losing it all, and faced it in full. He was a man of great wealth, great family, great health. And then it was all taken. Every bit of his wealth gone. His health gone. His own body broken down. Even his children taken from him. Everything in this room threatens you with, this man actually lost. All of it at once. And here's why he's a legend that lights up this room. He did not break. He never once believed his worth was his wealth. So when the wealth was stripped away, his worth stood untouched. He knew his security was never in the money. It wasn't the one who gave it, and the one who took it, and the one who had not gone anywhere. He came through it, and everything was restored to him and more. That's the first row. Peace be upon that patient warrior. And it says, even if this room's worst fear come true, even if you lose it all, you would still not be worthless, because your worth was never in the wealth to begin with. The second warrior faced the other half of this room. Not the fear of losing money, but the temptation to get it in the wrong way. He lived among a people who cheated in business, who shorted the scales, who defrauded in trade, who chased profit by any means. And he stood up alone and called them to honesty, to fair weight, to clean earnings, to provisions earned without wronging another's soul. They mocked him and threatened him, but he would not bend, because he knew a truth this room hides. Provisions earned by cheating isn't provisions. It's a curse wearing the mask of risk. Clean risk, even if it's less, even if it's slower, is the only risk that ever truly nourishes. That's the second rope. Peace be upon that upright warrior. And it says, never sell your honesty to quiet the fear. The shortcome the room offers you was never your way out. It's a deeper room. Earn clean and trust the provider to make the clean enough. Fear of losing it, beaten by the first. Temptation to cheat for it, beaten by the second. Between the two warriors, this whole room has already been walked out and lit. Whatever your version of the money fear is, A man has stood here before you and gotten out with his soul intact. Come to the door with me and carry the mark of the light out of this room, because it's the thing that lets a man finally breathe in here after years of suffocating. Strive like it all depends on you. Trust like it all depends on him. Give to break the lack and see what you already hold. That's the way out of this room, not more money. A man can be drowning in money and still feel trapped in here, still terrified, still doing the math at 3 a.m. because the room was never really about the amount. The way out is 4 things you now carry: being the source, and keep only your honest part, the effort, the clean work. You widen your eyes and see the abundance you had gone blind to, the health, the love, the faith, the mind, the breath. You give your time, your ear, your presence, and prove to yourself that you were never empty. And you trust the provider to return it multiplied in whatever currency he chooses. And take this with you too, because it's the part that heals the deepest cut. Your worth was never your bank balance. Your worth was set by the one who made you, and it does not move with the markets. The number was never you. A man can lose every dollar and not lose 1 atom of his true worth. The first warrior proved it. Stop letting a number tell you what you're worth. It was always lying. So remember the refrain. Every time this room reaches for you again, it was never the situation. The situation is only there to make you look around. And the man who can look around and see what he has, really sees it, is the richest man in any room he stands in. You could be walking amongst the richest men in the world right now. Not when the money comes. Now, the moment you can see. I'll walk you out now. The darker rooms are still ahead. I won't pretend otherwise. But you leave this room lighter, because you finally set down the weight you were never built to carry, and finally saw the wealth you were standing in the whole time. You strive, you give, you work clean, and you trust the provider with the rest. Blade drawn, gentle hand, I got you. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. A man whose worth was never for sale, who was never carrying the sky alone, and who was richer than he ever knew. Walk with me.
Walked alone with my shadow, till the lies fell to none, and the life they were chasing turned to dust, while my deeds built the one. Every deed plants a tree, in a place no eye can see, and everything this world calls winning was quietly taken from me. Some wins cut deeper than losses, some losses set men free, and the trees I planted in silence became the shade protecting me.
This podcast and everything we're building here has been brought to you by Spartan Builders. The Builders Plug, a Spartan Builders company. Building the world and the men building it.